Hey everybody, it's Master Guys here, bringing my review of the latest episode of Preacher, South Will Rise Again. So, this was an overall other improvement episode for Preacher in my opinion, in that they were sticking to certain story beats in a more coherent manner than what the kind of show started out as. So, we kind of start getting the repercussions of having Odin Kincannon doing, like, actually saying that he will serve God and everything. All these people are now kind of more interested in the Bible and in religion and asking the preacher for answers on things and asking for his advice. And you kind of see that when he's having this kind of like meeting with M and about like what's going on with the church and everything, like telling her that he actually made that kind of stupid gamble. And she's like, that's kind of a really stupid thing to do. It's like, it worked out in the end. And then he went over to this table and was kind of like talking to people about the gospel and all that. And you kind of see that going through the episode. He's like helping people with advice, using his power that he has gained to kind of guide them on what he thinks is the right path to do. So we'll have to see how that kind of stuff starts falling out. And we also kind of see the fallout between Tool and Cassidy, and we kind of get kind of an interesting melding with them. And that they start talking about their like love lives and stuff. Philip's like talking about she's here to convince her boyfriend to come back. They found a dude, they should hit him. And Cassidy agrees with her. They should definitely hit the person that screwed up their lives and everything. And he's like, well, I love you. And she's like, get out. And it was kind of interesting to see that and see kind of what could start going on there. So, as that's going on, we also see Donnie dealing with the kind of fallout of what the preacher almost made him do. And he's been feigning sickness and stuff like that. And his wife's like, if you don't get out of bed, I'm going to fuck this dude in accounting. And he goes to work and then he kind of breaks down and tells her what happened, like he made him want to pull the trigger and kill himself. But it wasn't him that wanted to do it, it made him do it in his mind. And she's like, don't worry, the preacher will get what's coming to him and all that. So that's another force that's going to be arrayed against him. We also saw the kind of fallout that was going to be happening with the angels in this episode too. Because as this is going on, the preacher then gets kind of bigger kind of use of his power when he tells, because Eugene comes and wants him to help his father get over his anxiety from what he did, because the town hates him for some reason. We don't fully understand why the town hates him. He tried to commit suicide and it didn't work, and he's alive, so people should be happy. So there's other negative consequences or things that we haven't seen that have been tied with that event. Specifically tied to the girl whose head's pretty much crushed in. And the preacher takes Eugene there, and she's about ready to kill him, tell him to go away. Everybody calls him it and all that. And he commands her to forgive him. And it automatically does. And that's kind of interesting if it's a true forgiveness or what it is, because she automatically forgives him. And he's doing this because at one point, people broke into his house and wrote on his room wall to tell him to finish the job with a arrow pointing to a shotgun. And his father was pissed off and said maybe you should do it the next morning. And it was just heartbreaking to kind of see that, because that's a harsh thing to say to someone. And it's really interesting that they're diving into this kind of issue in these kind of ways. And I'm interested to kind of see what's going to be happening with Eugene, because he's really trying to turn his life around. Nobody's giving him the shot except the preacher. And is it right for him to command these people to do these things? Because it's taking out free will and everything. And that's an important part of being commanded to do something and choosing something of your own free will. Because it gets into murky territory then, because then he's controlling people and controlling how they're acting and what they're doing. And that gives him, that's a big power to do. And while this is going on, we see Odin kind of doing his stuff and talking to the mayor, kind of apologizes, and alright, I'll meet with these people. And you're thinking, oh, he's turning kind of good. And Donnie's kind of freaking out because he's like, what did the preacher say to you? Told me to serve God, and I will. And it's like, oh God, he's kind of understanding what's going on with that now. It's like, holy shit. So the mayor kind of brings these people in. He's like, all right, should we start? And then out of nowhere, pulls out the shotgun and kills all of them. And it's like, how is this serving God? If he could still do this stuff under the preacher's influence, what the hell is he going to do? It's just nuts. You think he's like, all right, I'm going to try and do what's best for the town. And he's like, kills these people. I'm like, oh, jeez. And then also to kind of cap the episode, we also got to see that Tulip and Cassidy got together, but Tulip mainly did it to get back at Jesse. Because Cassidy doesn't know that Tulip and Jesse have been romantically involved. So that's going to make a really complicated triangle relationship between Jesse, Tulip, and Cassidy, because Cassidy and Jesse had a pretty good relationship. I mean, granted, Cassidy says he'll do things, but doesn't usually do them, but Jesse's helped him out, so it'll be interesting to see how Jesse's reaction is to this going forward and what's going on. And the end of the episode centered on the Angels finally confronting Jesse and being like, you got your money, you got your opiates, you got your drugs and shit. We need what's inside of you. And at first he thinks that it's like God inside of him. No. You don't know what you're messing with. And we've seen you doing stuff around town. We need to talk. We need to get that thing out of you back inside its home. So it's going to be interesting to see where the next episode picks up and see what's going to be going on there, because he can actually command entities like Cassidy, so we'll have to see if he can command entities like these angels or whatever they are from heaven, and to see how he's going to get out of this situation, what he's going to learn more about what's actually inside of him. So it's pretty exciting to see kind of these things kind of rushing together to see what's going to be going on. And it was cool that it's been doing so well, because we've also learned that there's going to be a second longer season that has been renewed for, and I'm excited to see where this is going to end this season and set up for the next season. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.